This past weekend was a pretty explosive and amazing one for Ethan Ralph. He had an entire show called the Fuck Warski Festival. Now, you guys know I like Andy Warski, but, I also like good content. And he had on all these different guests. He had on Mersh, so obviously I'm tuning in. He had on Teddy Feezer, which I couldn't even believe that was still a guy. He got refeezed inside his brain. Even Feezer started streaming again. He had on all. Richard Spencer was there for some reason. Nobody's entirely sure why that happened, but it was a good segment. I enjoyed the whole thing, but then the internet came knocking. Okay, and unfortunately, Ralph's audience is the internet, and so what the internet started saying is that it was bad. And I was like, you must have watched a different stream than me. I loved it, and my favorite part of it, he all of a sudden did a whole heel turn against this guy, Perspinicity or something like that is his name. He's a guy. What he does is, I've only seen him 2 times ever, and on this most recent stream, this guy did I don't know how to say it. Persnippity. This parsnips. What this guy did is, he's like one of these types of guys where, in the 70s when a guy in the FBI would be like, yes, hello, I'm a real man. I'm in disguise. Yes, hello, I'm wearing full eyebrows and beard disguise. It's me, Mustachio Disguisey. He's one of these guys. I didn't know that was the type of guy either. If you're sitting there saying to yourself, Jesse, that's not a type of guy, turns out it is. So this guy stinks, and he believes that he's some sort of guy, like on the internet. And Ethan Ralph said, no. You're not a guy. Okay. And the reason we know you're not a guy is because, again, you have to wear the mustache, beard, and eyebrows of a man in disguise. There's no possible way you're an actual guy, but you're certainly not like an internet guy. Like, nobody knows who you are. This guy thinks he invented the Kino Casino or something. So anyway, Ethan, not only does he do this heel turn on his friend, then he does a face turn on the Kino Casino. Friends becoming enemies, foes becoming allies. It's a really insane thing. And it all happened over this one little... I don't know exactly how this happened, but here's what the people have been talking about. Here's the clip that got me interested.
I guess he thinks you're drunk or anything like that. You're a grown-ass man. You're going to do what you're going to do, regardless of what anybody says, so it doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, I don't have... I have the breathalyzer, but it doesn't have the batteries in it. So, where's this?
You don't have.
Also, by the way, Taco Bell kept calling him during the show. I'm not exactly sure. He's trying to listen. He's in Mexico. He's living Moss.
Did you
Taco Bell? No, I don't.
Taco Bell. He was hacked by Taco Bell, which I didn't know was an option. The man eats tortas. So.
Shit. Yeah, you're right. I don't have to do.
By the way, I want to be clear about everybody here. We got the henchman here too. Hi, henchman.
Hello.
Hi, Jesse.
I just want to say we are 100% team Ralph and Mail, okay? It's Ralph all the way.
Ralph all the way.
USA.
Ralph.
So
Ralph.
I'm only playing this. Now, Ralph took down this stream. I don't know why. I haven't heard the reason why. So I mean absolutely no harm by playing this clip whatsoever, okay? I want to be clear. Unfortunately, there seems to be a miscommunication between me and Ethan going on. We'll get into that in just a bit here. I want to be very clear. I'm playing this for the context of this episode and for no other reason. Obviously, we're doing commentary and criticism on this, though, so we're fully protected DMCA wise.
Dude, shit. And I feel like it was a great show, and then Perspig comes in and he thinks he runs shit. He doesn't run shit. He's never been anybody. He's a fucking hanger on.
Right.
I
yes.
like him.
Yes.
I like him, by the way.
Live Moss. Everybody. I'm not adding those sounds. That is happening inside of Ethan's either home or head.
He's more concerned about whether or not you're drunk or not, and like I said, that whole thing.
So I guess this guy Persnip said that he was drunk. Okay. Now I'll be honest. I listened to this clip. Something's going on. You can't say this is sober as a judge, Ethan Ralph.
That's the whole thing. Goddamn, I wish I was fucking drunk.
And you shouldn't say that.
I'm not accusing you.
Ralph, you went to rehab, and I cheerleaded him on to the rehab. I was the one guy not thinking the big rehab video, and yet I'm the guy. He went on my show. I'm telling him, yes, do it. I've been sober as a judge my entire life, and so I very much want Ethan to be healthy and to be mentally sound. I think a not sober Ethan is a bad Ethan. It's a bad show. And the thing I love about Ethan Ralph is he's a showman. He's a showman before anything.
I'm just saying that should have been handled after the show, I think.
And I know secretly in Ralph's heart, he loves that pop of the crowd. He loves the roar. And he wants the people back. He went on this whole thing with me. He said, I'm going to do what it takes to get people watching Killstream, and I'm going to go on everybody's shows. I'm going to have everybody on mine. And I told him, yes, do this, man. It's time. I know that more than anything, he wants those lights in his eyes, and he wants that roar of the crowd, and he wants to be there center ring, holding a big gathering of all of his fans. He wants Ralphomania 2 happening. He wants that love, that admiration, and he wants the hate just as much because he knows that the only bad thing you can be is boring. And I believe when Ethan Ralph is not sober, that's a boring Ethan Ralph.
But I'm not drunk.
Fair enough.
It would be a lot easier if I was.
We don't want that. Don't say that.
The FBI also make. So I'll just leave it at that, right?
Okay, I'm not listening to a quietly whispered super chat. So you get the idea. Ethan sounds a little hammered. They're calling him out. He gets mad about it. This led to his entire stream being taken down. Now, again, I'm fully on route. There's a lot of people, and I won't tolerate this. There's a lot of people in the chat, even before the stream began, that were Ethan Ralph disrespecters. I am not. Ethan Ralph seems to have gotten it in his head, unfortunately. The henchman, you guys saw this before the show. He seems to believe now that I am a disrespecter of his. I don't know how this happened. Unfortunately, I think this is what takes place. Have any of you ever known somebody with a substance abuse issue? Anyone here? You ever had to do the intervention?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
And, they say, what is the first step of recovery? What do they call that?
You have to admit you have a problem.
Admit you have a problem. And so the hardest part, the biggest hurdle to get over is that hurdle. And you're going to get a guy lashing out at you. Now, listen, I know Ethan Ralph when he's sober as a judge. While most of the show was great, and the fucking follow-up streams the next day, he's hitting Warski, then he's going, all right, actually, I'm good with Keno Casino. Then he's hitting every dude he knows. He's hitting Kyler. The internet's Kyler. I shouldn't have used that one. Anyway, it's coming from all angles. So I know what really happened here is he saw that I'm doing an Ethan Ralph episode, and he assumes everybody's attacking him right now. That's not true. I want more than anything for Ethan Ralph, and I mean this truly, the bottom of my heart. I want him to be healthy more than anything else in the world, okay? And that's why I was glad to see that apparently on his stream, when he was doing a search for something, it was revealed that he's been going to the gynecologist to check in on having the clap. He was looking for an STD doctor, HIV test, gonorrhea in Merida. I want Ethan to be healthy. If it takes going to these Mexican clinics to make sure he is, it's what I want more than anything. I spoke to Ethan Ralph before he went to rehab. He went there. By the way, he did go there. Everybody was messaging me. I've become the steward of this man in some ways, where when he went to rehab, everybody starts messaging me going, Jesse, is he really in rehab? And I said, I don't know. I'm a different guy. I don't live in Mexico. And I'm not even sure our cameras reach there at this point. But I was like, I'm pretty sure. And sure enough, He never came online except for like one little video, which he had a reason for. He came online like one time the whole stint. I don't have any DMs with him. I don't know anybody who talked to him in all that time. Ethan Ralph, if he's got access to a computer, he's going to use it. So there's no way he wasn't there. Immediately following his rehab stint, I had a very, very long phone call with Ethan Ralph. And I was so proud of him. I hate to do this. I really do. This is no slight against Ralph whatsoever. But I had this long phone call with Ralph, and I was so proud of him for really doing it, for really going to rehab. And we talked about it. We talked a little bit about the rehab stuff. And, you know, in DMs and in this phone call. And he made it very clear to me. He said, Jesse, you know, I got to kick this drinking habit. He said, listen, I've got prescription medications. I asked him, are you prescribed anything? Are you on anything? He said, I've got my prescription meds and that's it. And I believed him. But in that phone call, things fell apart. As the phone call went on, it became more and more difficult to keep going. And it honestly filled my heart with a sadness. Now, I was given full permission from Ethan to share this phone call. He seems to be trying to revoke that permission now, but I have it in the recording. I didn't want to share it. I wasn't going to. If I was going to, I would have shared it back then. This is no attempt at a snake move. This is an attempt, and I'm doing the hardest thing I possibly can here in order to save a man's life. Listen, Ethan, and I'm saying this because I know you are watching. You will watch this at some point. Ethan, I say this with all heart and humility. I mean this. I don't want you on drugs. And even if you've got a prescription, there are some things that people have prescriptions to, and that might include Xanax. I don't know. I'm not casting any aspersions here, but we got to wean off of this because it is not working for you. Whatever positives whatever these prescription drugs are supposed to bring into your life, the negatives are now outweighing it. So unfortunately, tonight on the program, I will be sharing the phone call so that Ethan, listen, I believe Ethan took down that episode of his show because people started claiming that he is not sober and he didn't want to face the music. Ethan, you have to face the music, and you're doing it tonight on Podawful.
Jesse PS is legitimately the world's greatest guy.
So true. Hey everybody, welcome. I'm your host, Jesse PS. This is Podawful. Happy to be here. Hope you're happy to be here too. Henchman, hi.
H2B.
Hi, Jesse.
Happy to be here.
Of course, yeah.
Hello.
Dr. Pepper.
We're really here for Ethan.
Thank you. Now, I do have an addiction. Hit like, by the way. I have an addiction myself, and I'm trying to wean myself off of it. Look at this. Dr. Pepper Zero. Tastes like shit. But I'm trying to put my best foot forward. It's so bad. It's so gross. Slightly better than diet. But tastes like absolute shit. We're live over at podawful.tv. We got the live chat room going on. I see a lot of chats in there. Some people really misunderstanding what's going on here. Somebody said, Jesse, there's so many people that they're like the 1,000th guy to try this with Ethan, says JC. Okay. Well, all the other ones failed. So you don't give up on a guy. What are you going to do? Let him die? Fuck you. I mean, sorry. This dude is given, whether you like him or hate him, by the way, and Ethan is fine with both of those. Whether you like him or hate him, this guy has given the internet an amount of enjoyment and content, the likes of which is nearly unparalleled. So, yeah, I'm not going to let him just fucking kill himself because he thinks that a prescription makes it okay. And if you're fine with that, then you're a different guy than me. Tim Jenkinson says, Why not just speak to him privately rather than make a show about it? I've done that. And by the way, Ethan blocked me just for the idea of the show happening. I'll tell you who understands what I'm doing better than anybody else on earth. Ethan Ralph. Ethan, listen, guys like me, guys like Ethan Ralph, we live on air. We're on air. That's where everything thrives. It's not worth doing unless it's on air. Maybe the reason that the 1,000 other guys failed at this is because they tried doing it off air. I know Ethan Ralph. I know his heart. I know his mind. And I know he understands this. And I know that he understands. This is, listen, not a humiliation ritual. It's not like that at all. This is something very, very specific. This is making a man face himself in the mirror. It's the hardest thing you can do. And Ethan Ralph, again, lives off of that pop. He lives off of that publicity. And so if he can see what the people say about this, and if he can really see my true feelings about this, listen, I seem wormier in a DM than I do on air. if we're being honest about it, nobody's going to believe me. Anything you can screenshot, no one's going to believe that. I might be able to come across as genuine to some degree on air because it's the one place where I am truly me. And Ethan Ralph will understand that better than anybody. What do you guys think? I mean, you're here with me. We're here to support Ethan.
All hail the Ralph Emil.
What do you think, though? Is this a bad idea? Should I not do this? I invited Ethan to come on. He got really mad about this. I said, you can come on. You can talk to me about this. And he's live right now, by the way. And he decided against showing up.
Well, this is how interventions work.
This is how they work. Yeah.
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 You got to confront them.
You have to confront it head on, or else it's not even going to work to begin with. I truly do believe that. I truly do believe that it's got to be a surprise. That's the only reason I didn't tell Ethan about this ahead of time, by the way. I think he feels a little blindsided by this. I understand that. I hope, listen, I'm the type of guy, Ethan knows this, I ask for forgiveness, not for permission. The irony here is I have the permission. It's in the recording. I just got to be clear about that. We'll talk about it in a second. Before we do, there's another guy who's live right now. His name is British Mersh, a.k.a. Cog. Here's his big, fat, ugly Indian wife. Wow, gorgeous. There she is.
Gross.
There is a layer of filth on her face so thick you could just, if you scraped the makeup off of her face, you could feed an Indian family for a year. Here he is being cucked out of his own culture to marry her. He had to dress up like a genie to get married, which is really cool. So here I am, Cog. You granted her three wishes. Number one, to live outside of India. Number two, to have a husband who isn't Indian. And number three, I guess whatever this fucking C-clamp is hanging out of her nose. No, let's be honest. She bought that for herself. He couldn't afford it. Now I'm here to grant your three wishes. Ethan Ralph content, secret recordings of Ethan Ralph, and of course, acknowledgement of Cog for the first time, maybe ever.
He too has an addiction to nutmeg.
Oh, this is weird. I thought he married an Indian lady. It turns out she's, I guess, Mexican and juicy. I would describe her as that is actually accurate. She's wearing a juicy earring. So just gonna take a look at
juicy watermelon, maybe
for a bit.
Cog did not rescue her from poverty, that's for sure.
And here is the end result of Homer Simpson's makeup shotgun. Okay, so there you go. There's our Cog segment. It happened. We did it. What do the people think of that? LOL, Aladdin. They're all calling him Aladdin. Cog who? British Mersh, by the way. British Mersh. Speaking of Mersh, Mersh was on the Fuck Warski Festival. This was clipped, and I thought this was like a good little way to show a little bit of the Fuck Warski. I don't think this is like all these clips, by the way, everything I'm playing is on Twitter. So like, I think these are fine. Mersh was showing clips of the festival on his show, Nightwave. So I'm not doing anything that Ethan hasn't already deemed allowed here, but here's Mersh on Ethan's show.
Do you think he got fucked up the ass by a man?
Now, I know what you're thinking. No, he's not saying that in the third person to Mersh about Mersh while Mersh is there. He's actually asking this question about Andy Worski.
I mean, shit happens. People don't like you. You've really chosen interesting fucking career choice.
Correct.
Fucked up Perez family.
So this is fascinating. So as we know, Mersh was raped by a rented baby in the ass. A baby fucked him in his ass, he said. A guy baby. What do you call that? A boy.
Baby.
A boy, yes. A boy, a big boy. A little big boy. Hi, I'm a big boy. So a big boy put it up his butt. And I think as a result, wow, look at Mersh's very gay face here. As a result, I believe Mersh, is not too into butt stuff. It's fascinating because Ethan Ralph is into butt stuff.
You think Andy Perez, Worski, whatever he wants to call himself, do you think he got fucked up the ass by a man?
I mean, he displays many signs of it. But, I mean, I'm not Dr. Todd Grande.
I mean, just if you had to guess, like, you're a gambler. If you had to,
Oh,
the
if we're
odds.
just putting, okay, this is just a March Madness.
You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, folks.
Type thing.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear this? It's so quiet. Is this coming through?
We're hearing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would take.
It's good. It's good.
All right.
It's not one I would put like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like tonight's like Warriors-Hawks game. Like, I'll put a few bucks on it. You know what I mean? Like, Steph Curry's out. So I got.
By the way, the invitation is still fully open to Ethan. I know he's live right now. He's probably got a second eyeball on all of this. You can still jump in here before we get into. I'm fully willing to hear you out on why I should not play this recording. You could convince me. Okay, I'm here for you. But I have to hear it from the horse's mouth, directly from Ethan, a promise. Number one, I don't think he is drinking. I legitimately don't think he is drinking. At the very least, not regularly. And I don't think he was drunk on that stream. But I do think he's on Xanax or some sort of pills. And I need to hear it straight from the pig's mouth that he's not going to keep doing this. You got to stop, man. We got to get you in recovery for this. I'm not joking about it. So if you want to join in, I gave him the link. He knows how to call in. And anybody here who would like to celebrate Ethan Ralph and help us build him up, if you're 100% on the side of Ethan Ralph, you can call in too. Podawful.com/cult. Join the call-in channel. That's our Discord. Podawful.com/cult.
Got a few bucks on the Hawks tonight, but I'm not that confident in Atlanta. So you know what I mean? If the payout's like plus 150, yeah, I'll put like $10 in Andy Worski.
And this is what Mersh does. Mersh's whole thing, this is American Cog, by the way. His whole thing is to like seem really relatable by telling you that he does man stuff. But he thinks his idea of man stuff is the stuff his dad did. So it's like being a degenerate gambler, being a drunk, being a sloppy retard.
Yeah, but it wasn't a female, though, I don't think.
But meanwhile, not brave enough. This is a man who watched Opie and Anthony. He should be brutal honesty, man. Where's all the, I was fucked up the ass, Ethan.
I think it was.
I'm a bit of a connoisseur.
Rarely is. He stole this. Who did he steal this from? Let's get him in trouble.
Okay, so I don't know what that is. Anyway, thank you to r/Mersh, that clip. Who is that? Our friend Circle, I believe. Smiley, we call him. Okay, so guys, Ethan has put out a statement about tonight's episode, pre the episode existing. And it's pre the episode existing because the episode is currently existing right now in real time, in real space. I don't know how else to even word something like that. So I don't know how he even knows. How does he know this thing he's about to say? Did you guys see this? Henchman, did you see the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, we saw it.
This is bad. I feel bad now. I went into this going, it's the Save Ethan Ralph Festival. Let's save Ethan Ralph. Let's fucking go, And then Chris.
H2BH.
I mean, I was excited to do this. I legitimately.
I got excited, very excited to see all of this.
And I thought Ethan would get it, but then this happened.
Who could have possibly guessed that Jesse BS, PS, faggot, whatever you want to call him.
Okay, not that one, please.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and call him it one.
Would be secretly
I'll stick with Jesse BS, thank you.
recording me and thinks he has some type of, I don't even know what.
I don't know what he thinks the secret recording is, by the way. When I said secret recording, I meant it was a secret to you people, not to him or me. We're the parties, you know, the two parties
Against me. I knew this going in. I did this for the content. I put these shows together for the content to entertain.
That's what we love about you.
And so I always knew the guy was a snake. I've told people.
Listen, the guy trying to get you help is not a snake, okay?
I told Dick Masterson months ago.
Dick Masterson, the guy who actually snaked you, who actually hates you, who wanted you dead in the ditch, who was giving you a drug drawer for you to snarf out of.
Years ago, this guy's a snake.
Sure about that? What you're going to see about that? We're going to hear about the Dick Masterson stuff.
I worked with the snake because I knew his nature.
Someone, I think Smokane called Ethan the Ralpha Scorpion. He just can't help himself. It's so true.
But I knew there would be some good shows out of it. So, needless to say, there won't be any more collaborations with somebody, you know, who has allegedly secretly recorded you.
Not a secret to you.
Done all kinds of dirty fucking shit. Also, since he likes to DMCA people.
What? I have no idea what that means.
I would consider that my private intellectual property.
You can't. I recorded it. It's my private intellectual property with also, again, and I can't stress this enough, your permission inside of it to not only record it and disseminate it. Now, I'll be honest. I'll start this off by saying he did say that he was not recording, which once again proves that this is my intellectual property. But number two, he did mention a few times like, oh, Jesse, you better not record this. But by the end of the call, he's like, you know what? Go ahead and record it. Put it out there. I want people to hear this. In fact, about halfway through the call, I would say, Ethan seems to believe we're live. He's talking to an audience. He's talking to the people. He's telling me stuff I know. He starts talking about me in the third person. This call fucking devolves. And that's the point of all of this. Ethan's smarter than that.
And also be looking into the jurisdiction that you stay in. But, well, that's...
So, listen, you're not getting anything. By the way, if you DMCA this, let me just tell you right now what's going to happen. If you DMCA this, I will counter DMCA it. You will be required to give me your info in order to do this. I will provide you with fake information. I will lie under penalty of perjury to YouTube. I will give you YouTube's address, which is what I've done on every single thing I've ever been DMCA'd on. 901 Cherry Avenue, San Bruno, California. And then I will win unless you take me to Mexico court over this, I suppose. Now, Ethan, it doesn't have to go this way. This is an act of love. It's a tough love, but it's love nonetheless. I'd be mad about this whole thing with him saying shit like that if it weren't for the fact that, one, I fear nothing, and two, this is a great promo for tonight's episode. Hit like.
Separate story. But
the man knows wrestling. He knows promo. He's cutting a promo right now, you know? Thank you, Ethan. I almost think he did it on purpose. You know, as much as Ethan self-sabotages, there's another aspect to him. He also is the greatest self-promoter. And he is just as sneakily as he self-sabotages, he can self-promote himself. In fact, watch.
Just an absolute rat bastard.
Sure.
But it's okay because I already knew that.
Okay.
And I like it as me against the world. That's my new philosophy. I don't give a shit what anybody likes.
That's the old philosophy. And we talked about this publicly and privately. The new philosophy was you're going to be open to everybody. I got blocked before he released this video.
Or thinks, except the people who watch my show, who support me Anybody else can eat a dick and choke to death on it. That's exactly what they can do. So you have a surreptitious snake who already knew was recording me, by the way. It's not a surprise. And
it wasn't a big deal. And it's not a secret.
I don't know if he's edited it or whatever, what have you. But I
have edited. I'm just going to come out and say it. I was originally going to release it fully because I didn't want to be accused of bad edits. However, I've not only edited it for time because the call was originally over 3 hours long, and it feels it. Okay? It felt it at the time. You'll see. In fact, the call starts off very nice. The call starts off very fun. There's a lot of good, funny banter back and forth. We're talking about everybody. Dick Masterson, Aaron Imholt, Gino, Keanu, Mersh gets in there. Everybody, he doesn't say anything bad about Mersh, but I do. We talk about just about everybody on Earth except Cog. And it's a pretty good call. And then slowly and then suddenly it degrades in a way that I could not believe. You're going to have to wait through this one, but trust me, it's worth the wait.
He's a piece of trash. I did it for the content. I did it for the people. I rolled up my sleeves and I did it for the culture. Now, not too many.
For black people? Okay, well, I'm doing this for black people then. Does that make it okay? Or
people.
No copyrights intended. I'm a black teenager.
Would put themselves on the line like that. I did. But I'm going to be live tonight. And I'm not going to be watching his trash. But
see, look at this. This is a secret pro. I'm now promoting that he's live instead. If you don't like what I'm doing, if you think that I shouldn't do this, go watch the kill stream. How about that? Live on Rumble right now. Ethan is currently, I think he's talking shit about Kyler and a bunch of these other guys that he was talking shit about over the weekend. Go watch that, okay? I'm happy to promote it.
I have a lot to say about a lot of other people, actually. And I'm going to say it. And I'm going to be live. I'm thinking about 6:45, perhaps. The link should follow.
Yeah, 15 minutes before my stream was supposed to begin. That's very funny. I mean, come on. You can't hate the guy. That's funny. Anyway, so I waited about 30 minutes to start. Complicated business, folks, but we did wait about 30 minutes to start myself. Okay, so this is it. From this point forward, unless anybody's got something to say, you got like a minute here before we go into this. We're just going to play the call. There's not going to be any interruptions or anything like that. This is a long one and a strange one. I would love to hear from Ethan for any reason to not play this. But unfortunately, I do believe that tough love is the answer here. What do you guys think? Am I doing the wrong thing here?
This is all love, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
Love
the thing
me,
about an
man.
intervention is, of course, the subject's going to push back, right?
Right.
And who would we be if we just gave up at the first sign of resistance? Like, that's not how an intervention
Not friends.
works.
Not friends. Not friends. I agree with that. Not friends.
Like Ethan, we can't take no for an answer.
Okay, all right, Glunt, you got to go, man. I'm sorry.
Sorry, this is all Ethan.
This is Ethan Ralph respect and nothing else. So nice try, nice slip in there. But actually, Ethan,
I was being sincere.
Ethan, I bet Ethan addresses exactly what you're accusing him of in this phone call. See, the other thing I did with these edits, and again, I do want to be clear, I edited out about an hour's worth of this phone call. The other thing I want to make clear is I actually edited out things that I knew he would not want out there. I did friendly edits, okay? You're still going to get the full vibe of, and I want to leave it up to the audience. This is the point of this. This is why it had to be public. This is why it had to be live. It's up to you guys to determine if you believe Ethan Ralph is sober as a judge. Because, and I always leave it up to the audience. I don't know. Listen, I've never done drugs. I've never had a drink in my life. I could be wrong in all of this. But I need Ethan to see what we are all seeing. And Saturday's show, as much as there was a lot of fun, 12 hours, by the way, it's a long time to go. Saturday's show as fun as it was and as good and as much good things came out of it, it was very obvious there was a decline. It floored me that immediately after rehab, Ethan Ralph called me with this. We'll be right back.
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. Podawful.pizza.
Pizza.
Podawful.pizza.
All right, final thoughts before we begin. Anybody? All right, Let's hit it. The big board.
Buckle in.
Oh, yeah.
All in the name of love and friendship.
It's all in the name of love. Ethan, if you are struggling, if you
Big
know,
board looks great, Colonel.
thank you. If you know in your heart of hearts that you are struggling at all, I want you to know, seriously, I'm here for you. You can talk to me. You don't have to block me. I'm sorry we're doing it this way. I know, and I think you do as well, that this is the best way to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, is Ethan Ralph sober as a judge?
You hear me?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Oh my God. Okay, so before I talk about, we have a parents. You're going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
First off, look, I probably shouldn't even clue you in on this. I like you, and you might not believe that, but
I believe it. I'm a great guy.
Well, I'm aware that you helped organize some of the trolling against me and all that stuff. And honestly, in a lot of ways, I kind of deserve that. And we talked about that when I was on your show, right?
Yeah.
I kind of did you dirty. It is what it is. I'm not recording this call, by the way. I just want to be clear. If that's what you're doing, I
wouldn't care if you were, but whatever.
But I'm not. That's what I'm saying. And so, and you might think that that's a signal that I am, but I'm not. And so, I'm aware that you're plugged in with Keena Shea. Of course, I hate him, but it is what it is. You see me bantering back and forth with him. At least he has a little bit of I won't say good cheer about him, but he knows the game. It is what it is. But there's a big thing brewing, and I can't tell you completely. I have my own team, of course, but there is they're good, but you may know a few of them, but I won't get into that. But regardless, I'm trying to decide just what I should say here. Did you see what? Hold on, let me check my phone real quick. Did you see? Oh boy, I did get a response. Did you see what has happened? And this, have you seen what's happened with the Vickers?
I don't really follow that stuff too much, to be honest. I am vaguely aware that I think there's like a divorce and something happening.
Boy, that would be very vague.
Yeah.
Matthew Vickers has filed a defamation case against his wife, and you saw how well his defamation case went against me, and he tried to use it to blackmail me out of my son's life. Well, I ended up calling his bluff, and I said, okay, let's go to trial then, because I just won't pay him, right? He has a $5,000 judgment for lawyer fees on some contempt shit, and I just didn't pay it because in order to enforce it, you have to have my bank account. You have to have all this stuff filed. He can't make me pay. I paid the court. The court fined me $500. I paid them immediately. And then Vickers, I talked to his attorney and I said, okay, I'll pay you $300 a month and we'll get it taken care of. And they said, no, that's not good enough. It needs to be $1,000 a month. And I said, well, okay, I just won't pay you. And just hung up and just stopped communication because they can't. Unless they know where my money is, then they don't.
Right.
Anytime I pay my child support, this may sound a little morbid, but I there are ways to get PayPal accounts, right? And I, may or may not have one of my own. I called his bluff, and well, he backed down. He literally tried to blackmail me out of my son, and wanted me to give my grandpa's ring. And I know the meme is the ring is fake and all that stuff. It legitimately is not fake. Like, that ring is minimum worth $10,000. Those are huge diamonds in that ring. Anyway, I refuse to give him that. I'd rather cut off my fucking dick, much less my hand, than give him that ring. So I called his bluff and he backed down and he dropped the charges. And so we agreed, and he didn't say anything for months and months and months. Well, he went in college chat, and I was in the middle of I was kind of having my relapse episode there too. But he went in college chat, and he wants to be a big shot. He can't stay away. He's addicted, and it's different for me and you and people. Like, this is our job, right? Like, he has no reason to even be around. Like, just go away. Like, I don't get it, man. It's like Brian Dunn. It's like King of Paul. Like, just go away, man. You're not making any money off this. This is not your job. This is not your life. You're only going to bring pain. Like, I get some pain too, but I get some money as well. And so, it is what it is. Anyway, he went into that chat and said, oh, well, yeah, Ralph's the one who has to pay for the visits, which is true. And I've said that before. Like, it's not even breaking news, but he basically broke the truce. And so I may have messaged someone, I'm being vague on purpose, but I may have emailed someone very close to him, and someone involved who knows a lot. Like, Jesse, when this breaks, it's gonna break the sector, honestly. Like, it's that big, and I have to play it cool because of sourcing and various reasons, and I promised I would anyway. So I was accused of some things, and they demanded my emails with that person, and I said, you have no right to my emails with that person. The person happens to be, well, I'll just say, connected to my son, and I have every right to talk to that person, and you have no right to those communications. And the only reason you would want them is because of, a lawsuit, which they lied to me, by the way. They didn't say I was going to give the communications because I was just like, whatever. But clearly they wanted them. She was doing his bidding, right? And she lied and didn't tell me there was a defamation lawsuit. And then I found out, and I'm like, okay, I want no part of this. I know how he rolls on defamation lawsuits. He's a lying fat, and he tried to blackmail me out of my son, and elder abuse is one of the fucking counts on one of his lawsuits, and he got found guilty by default by not look, man, this is basic knowledge. Like, you show up to court when you get served, right? Like, this is just the most basic shit of all time. And if you don't show up on a defamation case, you lose by default. And not only did he lose by default, they gave the guy extra judgment against Vickers because he just totally disrespected the court. So anyway, now he's got the bright idea to sue his wife. And I'm not saying I've talked to her or anything, but well, you don't sue somebody who knows where all the bodies are buried, and you don't sue somebody who knows as a paper trail. I'm trying to be very vague here.
The minefield.
It's a total minefield, and I know we're not, we're still kind of trying to establish some trust here. And like, I wouldn't be talking to you if I didn't have some type of trust with you. And plus, I just think we're good together on air. I think we have fun on air when we're not involved in some, bullshit. And I try to make, right. Yeah. And I tried to make amends to you as much as I could. And you're right about Dick. I shouldn't feel bad about it. I can't help it in a certain way.
No, I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just a guy who, he did help me out in a lot of ways, but it was always, his way.
Well, I'll tell you who else felt exactly like that.
Maddox.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I thought this guy was my friend. And if he hadn't went on air and shot on me with Vito and laughing with Vito, the 400-pound fucking alleged pedophile, I don't even think he's a pedophile, but like, he's laughing, and Ralph was close to death last summer when he showed up. No, I wasn't. I was actually completely sober, minus California sober. I took a couple hits off the vape pen, fell asleep on his couch. Well, he's bad-mouthing me to the person while I was asleep. that brought me over there, and I found out about this. That's what made me come on your show. I told you this already. And it's like, and anyway, that was in the summer. And then when he canceled the appearance, that's fine. Canceled the appearance. That's his right. But then he went on air and shot on me. And to use a wrestling term, he did a shoot interview basically on me. And, you know, Ralph looked close to death. I did look close to death in January, but not last summer. And I look, you know, as good as I could look, at least right now. And so it's like, you know, if this guy was a real friend of mine, he wouldn't have done that. He would have just said, Ralph, you know, he came in to SoCal, fucked up, and I don't want to do that to him. He tried to act like I didn't want to do it to Ralph, right? Of course, he don't give a fuck. And, you know, the more I thought about that, the more I was like, this guy's a rat bastard, because I would have never done that to him, Jesse. Do you know how much shit I've taken defending this like over the years? And he's taken some shit defending me too, but like, you know, the whole cuties thing, and you're right. He's used me as a fucking troll shield, and you know, I still feel bad about it because we were, you know, maybe it was all fake, but like I was friends with him. I was friends with 80s girl, we'll say, and all this stuff.
Well, your friendship was real. His wasn't.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. Like, I really felt like these people were my friends. Yeah. And they did do things to help me, but like it was self-serving, right?
Dude, and he just does not have friends. Like he and I was going to say he doesn't have internet friends, you know, anybody from the internet's not really his friend, but I wouldn't believe he has real world. I mean, you know, that guy Sean was like his childhood school friend. He quit the show recently. Like, I don't think he's got real friends.
Well, and watched that interaction, and Sean's awesome, by the way. I've talked to him many times.
Yeah, I've talked to him.
He's a really nice guy, and he even talks to like Dick's enemies. I heard Josh, and I'm not a fan of Josh, of course, but like, I even heard Josh said, you know, I emailed him about some audio stuff here and there, and he responded to me. And, you know, of course, Dick wouldn't like something like that, but he's just a nice guy. And I'll tell you something else. He was working on a remake of the or not a remake, but a revival of the Boondocks. And he told me this. And then John Witherspoon died. Granddad died while they were working on it. And of course, you know, you can't really have the Boondocks without Granddad, right? And so they were going to recast him, he told me at one point. And then it's like, you can't recast John Witherspoon, like whatever. And so that kind of got dropped. But if you watch that segment, it's really strange where Dick is very detached. He looks sad, of course, but like Sean's just like, first off, Sean is wealthy and has a whole career as a legit Hollywood audio engineer. Of course, Dick brings in the biggest stiff of all time to be his replacement. I still can't understand that. But it's a very weird segment. And I'm sitting there and I know Sean, I've talked to him a lot, and
this is free money for him. Like, that show is free money.
All he had to do was show up and edit the audio, and he's getting $1,000 a month.
He didn't even have to actually really say anything. I mean, what does he even add? Like,
he's funnier than Dick. Is the hilarious part? Like, Dick is actually really afraid of direct confrontation. And so I don't even know if I mentioned this. I might have on our interview, but you know, Dick could have just told me straight up, hey man, you showed up fucked up. I asked you not to. Of course, I was sober the next day. You know me, Ralph and Mel, whatever. I woke up the next day, I'm sober. But like, he's leaving me to message his girlfriend, and he acts like I'm some kind of like deranged stalker because I was messaging her. Dude, we've talked a million times. I was messaging her because he was leaving me hanging. Then his girlfriend says, oh, well, maybe Saturday. And I said, you know, okay, fine. First off, I don't ever, you know, I did show up overserved, obviously, and SoCal there, but, well, it's Tijuana, really. But, and I had to see my son the next morning at like 9 a.m. So it was really going to be onerous on me, not him. He's getting free content, free money. I wasn't getting paid. Do you know Mersh got paid thousands of dollars for that Tampa road rage thing?
If he did, it took months.
Well, it did take months, and he admitted that.
Yeah.
But he got paid thousands of dollars. Do you know who had well, you could probably guess who had the most heat on that stage, positive and negative. Like, I raised my arms to the crowd. You may have seen the footage. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I watched that.
But like, I was the firebrand on the stage, and there were people cheering me, and there were people who wanted to throw their fucking drink at me. And that's the heat. I hate to relate everything to wrestling, but that's that's like the reaction, right? That's the guy who moves the needle. And, Carl from Who Are These Podcasts is the biggest fucking stiff of all time. And, Mersh is like, I don't even know. But, nobody else had the pizzazz I had. And I soaked it in. I soaked the hate in. And there was love too, but I was like, it was my professional wrestling moment. Like, I was like, yes, I love this. I live for this. And he didn't pay me one single fucking dime. And Mersh the other night on his show, Mersh thinks we'll get back to being friends and all this and that. I don't think so, because I just know how Dick is. I would be more willing than him. But I don't think it's worth it. And I think it's just setting it up for a fall. But he mentioned getting paid a fat, thousands of dollars a paycheck for the event. And I'm like, I didn't get paid a single dollar.
Now, hang on, though. I mean, you just taking his word for it, or do you know he got paid that? Because
I have no reason to believe Merge lied on that.
I have no reason to believe he told the truth, knowing Merge.
Well, okay, fair enough.
I'm telling you, I think he maybe got $400 off of it, and that probably took half a year for that.
Well, he did say it took a long time, and one thing he said about Carl was Carl didn't give me as much money, but he paid me right away.
I have the number 400 is like jumping out at me. It's been a while since that event, but I have it in my memory banks, my Mersh data banks here, where he had said that number before about it, that he got like $400, and Mersh is quick to try to make something seem way bigger than it was. So,
well, look.
But hey, 400 is more than zero.
Yeah, right. I got zero, and I had to pay for an air. Of course, I had the Killstream Compound Crew, Triple K. No connotations there. So I didn't really lose any money because I charged people to come stay with me and hang with me, right? And to help with the Airbnb, and so I didn't really lose money, but I didn't make a single dime, and I was clearly. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I was clearly the most, other than maybe Dick himself, because it was his crowd, the most over guy on the stage, to use a wrestling term. And you notice if you watch that eventually there's a shared mic between me and Carl. Carl's the most useless motherfucker on earth. I know you hate Mersh. I know you probably hate Dick too, but Carl sucks. I've never heard anything funny come from his mouth.
Yeah, that's why I don't talk about him. He's boring.
Yeah, no, he's the most boring son of a bitch.
It's the worst thing you can be.
Right, exactly. Be hated, be loved, or be hated and loved. But this guy is just a total stiff. And I don't understand. I don't know. I do understand, because he's completely willing to be a lackey to Dick. And, I won't say submissive, but okay, Dick's been in it longer. He's got this longer history. I'll defer to him on most things, but I'm nobody's lackey. And Carl is. That's the thing. And so that's why he does all these crossovers with Carl, because Carl's a total fucking cuck, and he'll do whatever. So, but at one point, they ran out of mics allegedly or whatever. And so me and Carl are sharing a mic, and everything he's saying is dead. I jumped up in front of the stage. It was like John Cena 2006, half cheering, half hatred. People literally fucking dumped a drink on Pantsu and Pay in the lobby. We had real heat. You know what I'm talking about. You saw Ralph Mania. It was heat like that, except even more. And that's what I hate to relate it again all to pro wrestling, but that's kind of what this business is in a lot of ways. And this guy doesn't move the needle. He doesn't engender any passion in any way whatsoever. So Mersh was actually trying to bring us back together, but Mersh, spills this story on air, and he's trying to like build bridges back, and I hear like, "Oh, you got paid for Tampa, Nick? I didn't get paid." Like,
well, he begged for it. That's probably the difference. Is you didn't beg. He begged.
No,
for
I didn't beg. I didn't even ask, man. I was doing it for fun. Like that was like a dream of a lifetime. I love the. Wrestlers talk about this, like the live feed. There's nothing like a live audience and like the energy that you feel off that. Like that was a dream of mine. Like I didn't even ask for any money. Like I not at all. So I guess I should have, but whatever.
Yeah, Dick doesn't pay people who do ask for money, so you're certainly
Dick's
not.
a fucking shyster, dude.
100%.
And I hate, man, God, you'd be the last person I would think I would be telling you all this, but like, he's a shyster, and he's done free shit for me too, no doubt. A lot of shows, and I've done a lot of free shit for him. But that live event made a lot of money, and he could have easily tossed. Man, he could have tossed me $200, and I would have said, "Great, man." I would have been like thrilled. But I didn't even think about asking for money. Like that never even occurred to me to do that. And Mersh is like, "Yeah, I got a really fat paycheck from Dick," and I'm sitting here, I didn't mention it in chat, and I'm sitting there thinking, this cocksucker paid Mersh, who I actually do like Mersh, like, and I do think he can be funny, right? And is often, but like Mersh ain't moving the needle like I'm moving the needle. And like this nigga got paid and I got nothing. Like, I don't know. It frustrated me.
It might soften the blow a little to understand that every time Mersh has told the story about that, the numbers have
goes up.
not even just up. It went from 0 to something at one point. It was originally nothing. He was complaining, 6 months after the fact about not getting paid for it. So whether or not he even did at all is like up for question. But I remember him at some point saying he got like $400 off it while trying to act like that was something big. By the way, it was
supposed to be a co-show between ROTC and Dick, and then I said, well, hey, I'd like to be a part of it. That'd be fun. And, I fucked the shit out of Pantsu and all that there and did a little ecstasy, whatever. I didn't have a problem with it until I found out, all these other niggas are getting paid and I got nothing. I
hate to say this. You're right. It was I remember that. It was a road rage / ROTC thing. In a way, shouldn't Mersh be kicking in? Shouldn't Royce be kicking in for you?
Sure. They should have gave me some of their money. And again, I like those guys. I know you don't, but it's like, man, you've seen the footage. There was nobody hotter on that stage than me. And that's not me talking shit. And I don't think I'm the best entertainer of all time or whatever, but like, I know how to generate heel heat.
I specifically remember people more famous. Ryan Long was on that show, right?
Yes.
And he came out and it was nothing. There was nobody in the crowd. Nobody gave a shit. Nick Rekieta, nobody gave a shit. And then
nobody cared.
Yeah, and it's Mersh and Royce's event. Nobody gave a shit about them coming out. But yeah, you did.
I may have refused to even take any money had he offered it, but he didn't. It just struck me the wrong way. Like, why would you treat your good buddy like that? And I'm clearly the hottest guy on the stage, and I forgot where I was going. I was going to say something else before that too. I've been up for a while, but like, I don't know. It illuminated some things. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So Amanda left me while I was in California at Dick's house. And she claims that she did it because she knew I would be with, I think I might have said this on your show. Because I couldn't say her name though. But she claims she did it because she knew I would be with friends and I'd be okay and I'd be safe. She stole my daughter from me from Mexico and left. And I called my lawyer to stop her because she messaged me before she did it. And I said, stop her at the airport, get the police. And he did. And the police said, well, you are a resident. That is true. And she's not. But you're not
in Mexico. And if you were in Merida and she tried that, we would stop her at the airport. But since you're not in America, it's two gringos going at it. And yeah, you're a resident, but you're not here. And so,
all right, I should pause this for just a second to say he is not allowed to talk about this person publicly, but this was not a public call, and I am choosing to disseminate this. Ethan is not breaking any sort of laws or restrictions by doing this, obviously. This is my choice. And if I had been a better editor, I probably would have cut out the name there. But unfortunately, I did miss that one. That's my bad, and I'm taking that mea culpa.
Oh, we can't stop her. Like, we just have to let her go. And I definitely looked into stopping her. So, and again, I was a shit husband. I'm not defending myself. Like, you saw me, like, whatever. But also keeping me from my daughter for 2 years. I don't think that's cool, but you know, I don't blame her for leaving, I guess is what I'm saying. So anyway, I find out all this, and it's like, this guy's been playing me for a long time, and I don't want to believe that. It's like Stockholm syndrome, basically. It's like, I don't want to believe that, right? Like, oh, he helped me here and there, and he showed up on my show and da-da-da. But half the time, it's funny because the last 2 times he was on the show, he actually put in some effort and it was good. But most of the time it's totally mailed in. He's calling in from his truck and shit. Like, it's just like, you have this. I'm envious of your set, by the way, as most people are. But like, he couldn't even turn on his camera. Like, he's mostly calling in from the road. It's like a hindrance to him, you know what I mean? And I had this motherfucker on my show when I had the #1 show on YouTube at night, period. And you know, he did things for me too, but like 2018, 2019, 2020, especially after his cuties debacle, like, I worked hard to rebuild this motherfucker, and you know, he's helped me some too, but like, I feel like he thinks he made me, and that's not the case at all. And it makes me angry. And so I got off the Vicker stuff, but first off, before I go back to the Vicker, trust me, you're going to, I think even you will enjoy the Vicker shenanigans.
I mean, I have heard some stuff through the grapevine, some things here and there, but yeah, it's definitely some interesting things seem to be.
Well, it's not just an assault thing. That's what I'll say. There's another term that goes before assault.
Yeah,
and so, you know, it is what it is. I promised that I wouldn't reveal and wouldn't go there, and so I'm gonna just, you know, follow the lead or whatever, but if I have to, and you know, I will, I have plenty enough now to just nuke this guy from orbit. But anyway, what are you thinking would be, first off, Cog thinks, and I led him to believe this, that Cog, by the way, so Vickers is, he may or may not have written an email or message to his wife saying, you called me a rapist, and alluded that I was a rapist to Ralph, and he's a sex offender and all this, which I'm not. I mean, I'm a revenge porn guy. Yeah, true. But like that was willing. You saw her bounce. Anyway,
I don't believe revenge porn should even be a law. So
don't either. That's what I said about M-Hole. I was like, I don't want to see this guy in jail. Jesus Christ, just cut the deal. And this whole thing with Gino. Gino's a fucking moron, and Keanu's even dumber. But she said her dumb shit, and then Gino came out. I was like, "Oh, you can't force me to Minnesota." Well, God damn it, guess what? They sure can.
Yeah, they're going.
And you know, I was in Mexico, and people, A-logs were going at me. A-log, whatever. Critics were going at me, and saying, "Well, just fly to Minnesota and take care of it." Well, As soon as I would have flown to Minnesota, they would have arrested me, Jesse, and I would have had to spend a couple nights in jail. Who knows what would have happened? It probably wouldn't have been, I would have probably been done with it in 4 or 5 days. But and I'm like, Stearns County don't fuck around, dude. If they're willing to put out a nationwide warrant on me for some petty contempt of court, do you really think they're gonna let Gino Visconti and Keanu, the fucking OnlyFans whore, just openly flout that they're not going to show up in Minnesota and there's nothing you can do about it? Well, guess what? They were the snitches in the first place, Jesse. God, this whole place is crazy. They're the ones who snitched on Aaron in the first place. Then they made peace with him. Well, they already talked to the police, though, and there's already all this footage, and so you can't just back out on that,
right?
Or else the police, and I explained this earlier, they're going to start thinking, well, does Aaron have some deal? Like, he refused a plea deal. Like, does Aaron have some deal? I know he dissed you out on your show, which I guess retarded, obviously. But like, they're going to start thinking, there's a little more malfeasance going on here. And you still have Keanu, the OnlyFans whore, and I don't even hate her, but it's like, you're dumb. And if you think you're gonna get Gino here, yeah, they will get Gino there, by God. There was another part like, I'd love to have me testify. I'll say what a shitbag Rekieta is and this and that. The only option is Aaron cutting a plea deal, which is what he should be begging, and just like, he turned it down, Jesse. Like, he should be begging for a plea deal right now, because if not, they're gonna.
There is one thing he could do. There's one thing. There's one move. I've been sitting on this for a while now.
Say it.
Well, there's a video of Nick Rekieta saying that he's got nothing to worry about when it comes to his wife and nudes being out there of her, because they don't take nudes. That's on video, him saying that. So now you'd have to prove that it's her in the picture.
Well, she has all these identifying tattoos, right?
Sure, yeah, but number one, we don't know that it's in the photo. Number two, or her face even is. And number two, if he's on camera saying they've never taken any nudes ever, they don't send nudes to anybody, then now it's on them to prove it's even real.
Yep. But one thing, and I think another clip you're talking about, that's from years ago, though. And in my understanding, and the second thing is, he doesn't speak for his wife, right? Like, I mean, he can say whatever the fuck he wants, and it's not against the law to lie to the public. It's only against the law to lie to the court. And so, like, I understand what you're saying, and
I'd make him prove it's her. I'd make her strip down in the courtroom and do it spin.
He didn't look so bad last time I saw her, I'll admit. But I'm just saying, Aaron's fucked. He needs to cut the deal. They obviously offered him a deal with no jail time, but they probably wanted him to take a felony. And they made me take a felony on some complete fucking bullshit. I didn't hit a female cop. I swung at a Mexican cop, actually, and missed him. And there was another count that I didn't hit the cop, and my lawyer was like, hey, we'll get this knocked down, misdemeanor, no problem. They will drag Gino in. It's like a dare. Like, Keanu and Gino are on air today daring the Minnesota authorities to bring them in, and it's like, okay, well, you live in the same country. I never even dared them from Mexico, but they will get your ass, and they know where you live because you're the ones who snitched in the first place, because you were mad at Aaron at that time and you snitched, and now you're back on his team, and it's like, you started all this. Like,
these aren't bright people, Ethan. They're not bright people.
No, they're not bright. And look, I made some mistakes for sure, but man, when I'm sober, I'm a lot more on it. And these people snitched, and now they're acting like they didn't, and they don't have any obligation to show up. And even the video alone is most likely enough to convict Imholt, but like, they're playing hardball with them because they can.
Well, with Aaron, before he was ever arrested, I was messaging him going, "You need to shut the fuck up."
Yes.
On your show, you got to stop. I said, you don't know it, but you are already under arrest. I said, you're like theoretically under arrest right now. They're going to bring you in at any moment. And the only reason you're not in a cell somewhere right now is because they know you're going to keep going on here and telling on yourself. And they're watching. And he's like, oh, no way. And then fucking like within the week that I said that is when he got arrested, and then he found out that they were watching his show.
Of course they are.
He's so dumb. He thinks that he thinks he's friends with the cops and the judge and the prosecution. By the way, he thinks
there is no friends with the cops and the judge. Like, what do these people not understand, Jesse? Like, anyway, go ahead.
Nah, that's it. I just couldn't believe. I was like, you will be under arrest before you know it.
I saw you might be talking about it off air, but I saw you talking to him on air one time, and I was like, of course we weren't talking at the time, but I was like, Jesse's giving him the best advice he's ever gotten. Like, just shut up, move on, and like, keep it as clean as you can. Yeah. Like this whole revenge against Kayla and Mercada, I know you hate them. I don't blame you. Like, I got beef against I still have a wife, actually, allegedly. And and it's hard sometimes not to take a shot here or there, but it's not worth it. And so, and I know they have me under the barrel anyway, and it's like, I got to keep my nose as clean as I can. And, that's one major reason I went to rehab, because it's like, not just for my health and like well-being and career, but it's like, okay, I have all these good visits with my son. I need to be clean to do the projects I want to do. And then also, like, I need to be able to show this in court. And they want me out of Rosie's life just like they tried to cut me out of Xander's life. And guess what? It is extremely hard to cut away somebody's parental rights. And that's a good thing, actually. I'm not saying this to brag. It's an actual mark of shame, but I've been involved with the system since I was 12 years old. And I know how the courts work. And I know how the judges work. I know how these DAs work. And you know what goes the furthest, Jesse? Probably already. Not saying you're involved, but like being respectful and being on time and showing up when they tell you to show up. And yes, sir, Your Honor. No, sir, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And like, that is the way. Any nog knows this. Why do you think the nogs are still out? Like, because it's like, it's baked in knowledge. Like, I just couldn't believe, especially Keanu, although Gino damn near took the cake after. It's like, dude, just first off, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? Like this, you're not even making that much money. Like, it's not like you're raking in thousands on super chats on this either. I'm not bragging about, like, I made $500 a day just talking shit most of the day, and the rest of the part was about Giano and or whatever the fuck, Gino and Keanu. But he I don't know. He's totally lost, and he if he's smart, he'll cut some kind of deal, because if these two clowns actually get on the stand, he's totally fucked. Like, they already have enough to fuck him with the video evidence. They admitted to it again today. Did you see this? No, they literally Keanu gets on air and she goes, oh, well, it's a victimless crime, and yeah, he shared a couple of naked pictures of Mercado's wife, but he didn't disseminate them. Guess what? Sharing them to one person is disseminating them, you dumb fucking whore.
Well, in fairness to her, she knows more about inseminating than disseminating.
But I listened to her and I'm like, okay, you clearly know nothing about the law whatsoever. And then, Gino gets on there all cocky and like, they can't make me come. Maybe he can't make her come. I don't know. But like, believe me, the law can make it as tough on you as they want to make it.
and it's best to be conciliatory towards when you're in this spot.
Damn, wait, you just made me think of a really funny tweet. Hang on. They can't make me come. And then that's attributed to both Gino Visconti and April Imholt. There we go.
But it was so ridiculous. And dude, I didn't even say that when they had the, of course, I consider it a little overkill, you know, with the nationwide warrant, but I settled it because I knew it had to, right? But it's like, I didn't say shit like that. Like, oh, they can't do anything to me and I can do whatever. Those are the types of things that really piss off judges and DAs. You can't touch me. You can't do this and that. Well, I bet you they can. And so anyway, I diverted from the Vicar stuff. I don't even know how much else I can say about that, but like, this was just mental to me. Like, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, because it's like, you're just, you're signing your own shit warrant. Like, I just don't know. And you know, Rekieta, you know, he's got lawyers. Rekieta's rich. I said this on air, and they said, how did Rekieta get such a sweetheart deal? I said, well, because he's a member of the club. That's why. Yeah. He's rich. He's rich, and he's a member of the bar. They're not even going to enter the sentence against him, dude. So he's not even going to be an official felon. You know, I'm quite lucid on how he got away with it.
The part where though he gave the one kid cocaine seems like,
I think that happened, Jesse. I'm gonna be real.
I think the
Jesse,
kid got it.
Jesse, come on. No, look. You know, when I was shooting on Dick Masterson and I went off on Twitter and I said, you know, oh, you treat Rekieta. I went after Vito too. But I was like, oh, you treat Rekieta with more respect, and his fucking kid, you know, tested positive for like 9,000 milligrams of cocaine and all this shit. Oh, but I'm the bad guy or whatever. You know, Rekieta DM'd me and he said, Ralph, I can tell you're going through some shit. Now, maybe he was playing me too. I don't know. But he said, Ralph, I can tell you're going through some shit, and I just hope it gets better. And I said, you know what, man? I'm sorry. I was just shooting on everybody. I actually don't believe that, because I actually don't. Like, that's a large amount of cocaine for me, much less a 9-year-old. And I don't know. It just seems like, why would he be
exposed to a lot of it a little bit at a time?
Say it again.
They're exposed to a lot of it a little bit at a time. You know, it just built up over time.
Maybe, but like, the drugs were locked in a safe. Like, I don't know. It's
all right. Well, let me ask you this: when you're a teen, because you know he's got a teenage kid. You're right, like a 16-year-old.
Positive, it was the 9-year-old.
It was a 9. That's Jesus Christ. That's worse.
Yeah, you didn't know that? No, it wasn't the 17-year. If it was the 17-year-old, if it was the 16-year-old, I would say, okay, this is tough to defend, because I was blowing tons of coke when I was 15 fucking years old. Right. So,
well, you know, there's some enterprising 9-year-olds out there. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
It's hard to keep the liquor cabinet locked for some 9-year-olds. I can't imagine what the coke safe must be like. You know, the other thing too, when they say it was in a safe, it's like, you think that safe was ever closed?
I don't know, man. I'm tired of defending his shit too.
I mean, you just gotta remember, they were at that point. All three of them were just straight up tweakers. Like, these were not thinking people at all. I know, you know, Nick likes to present himself a certain way, but these guys were junkies. Like, they were.
Nick's lost so much brain power, it's insane.
And he didn't have a lot to begin with. Let's be fair.
Okay, I won't go there, but like, if I'm sober and I'm on air, I'm still pretty quick. And I know we got some good reviews on our last, you know, collab. And you know, you saw me go off. I just completely went off the reservation on Dick on Wednesday. That final show before rehab.
Yeah.
But this is gonna sound gay, I know, but like, I've said it already, but like, I felt
I went all in, and you couldn't tell it on air, but like after the show was done, and I don't know, I made like $700, whatever. I felt bad. Like I didn't want to do that, right? That Saturday, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, I was talking about Marie. I was talking about her job, and I was like, I've blown cocaine with her. I've done LSD with her. I've done all this and that. In LA, they don't really care anyway, really, to be honest with you. But like, I felt bad about that just because it didn't help me, right? And it was just also like I don't know. I shouldn't have went there. But I felt like she was a part of it. That's why, because she's not. It's like Medicare, where Jade has nothing to do with anything. But she does all the art and all the editorial.
I've been saying it for years. I always get shit for that, for talking about her and bringing her up. She is involved. She's been not just involved. She's been behind some of the thing, like the stuff that the dickheads like. She's been absolutely behind the mastermind behind some of these bits on there, like bringing in some old letter that Maddox sent her.
That was so dirty, like, and such a bitch move. And of course, I laughed at it when I saw it, but it's like, God, I want to talk to Maddox about it. I know he never will.
I didn't tell you this. I tried to get Maddox to come on the episode you were on. Currently, he's like gone full sort of like lefty crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And which is odd because he wasn't like that before. This is like a new thing for him.
But he calls me a Nazi. Jesse, I'm not a Nazi, dude. Like, I'm still lefty in a lot of ways. And
I am a Nazi, but he had me on his podcast network. So.
But what I'm saying is, like, okay, I hate to use the trite term, but, the Democrat Party left me. I do agree with universal health care. I do agree with legalization of all drugs. And it's not, and believe me, that's caused me problems. But like, that you cannot stop people who want to use drugs.
I agree. I'm also for the legalization of all drugs, despite the fact that I've never done any.
Right. And it's like, you can't stop it. And there is one way to like really slow it down, and it's like cutting niggas' arms off and putting people to death. But
I'm also for that though as well.
Well, I'm not for that. I believe in a free society. Like I don't want to live in that type of paradigm, right? And so I agree philosophically, but it's like I don't. There are ways to cut it down, but even in those societies, there is drugs. There are drugs. Excuse me. And a person who wants to use drugs is gonna find drugs. I don't know. It's complicated because drugs have fucked up my life big time. But like, also it's like I did that myself. Nobody made me take those pills or drinks or whatever. Like I did that myself. And it's like, do you want freedom or do you not want freedom? Right. And so, it could ruin you. It could benefit you. I want to say this. I've never reported you ever in my life. And there are some people I have. I'm not going to lie. But never you. Even when we had beef, like I always like, I don't know. First off, I respect the hustle. And they tried to kill you off. And that's something that identifies with me. Even with Josh, I hate that fucker. But like they try to kill him off. They try to kill you off, and like and they try to kill me off. And it's something in me that like it just identifies with me, right? And it's like, you know what? Fuck these cocksuckers. Like even people, and I do like you now, and I liked you the whole time. Honestly, it's just a whole complicated web of relationships. You know what I mean? Does this make sense, right? Like and it's like me and you are almost always money on air because Bibble's not around anymore because Worski doxed him and drove him off the air, and Worski's gonna pay for that one day, by the way. But I've said something similar before, but I said, I feel like the ape in the zoo, right? And people come and throw me coins and they, say shit and this and that. But at the end of the day, I'm always in the zoo, and there's no escape from that other than just completely quitting. And it's really hard for me to do that, right? I said, I love you, and I'm not saying that as a gay way, but like I don't know. I'm trying to stay calm because it's not good for my sobriety recovery to get crazy and everything. But I'm the ape trapped in the zoo, and
the dirty ape.
Yeah, the dirtiest ape in the zoo. You like that line, didn't you?
I do. Oh, hey, what do you want to talk about on the show tomorrow? I know we're not talking about COG.
Well, now let's go ahead. Yeah, we talked a long time. Let's think about tomorrow's show.
I know we're not mentioning COG, which I think is funny. I think that's a good idea. I know you were ambivalent about talking about Dick, but I feel like we got to at least mention it.
I will address, but I don't think we should spend much time on it.
Yeah, it can be a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know what else to talk about. I mean, I'll talk about anything, whatever you want to talk about.
You know what's funny is being you talk. It's I don't want to get to my own horn, but I can talk to anybody about anything.
Yeah, same.
And so, it's not gonna be a fail no matter what. Because I've done about 1,200 interviews, and so it'll be fine. But I don't want to make it an attack on Dick. Obviously it has to be brought up, right? I mean, whatever. I don't want to bring Merch up.
Okay, I can do that.
Not because I'm scared of him, just because he hasn't earned it, right? He's not said anything about it, right?
Yeah. He will be mad that you have me on, though. Just to be clear.
Yeah, he will, and he always has been. But you know what? Fuck him. Okay.
Do you know about it? Do you know what's going on with his car? And he's got it repoed and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's funny because you don't even have to have a car in Mexico because you can just ride around for $3 all around the city. It doesn't matter.
Well,
but
he ain't in Mexico. He's in fucking Lakeland, Florida, and it's not going well for him. He's in a stinky little mood right now.
$55 around the city.
Oh,
I understand.
He's in a pissy little mood, so he will be upset. I'm just warning you. Fair warning.
Well, he knows because I tried to get him on we were doing some type of festival or whatever. And he said, I don't want anything. Now, I will say this. I'm not gonna smash Merch just because he's been really nice to me. And if you want to smash him, go ahead. But I'm just not gonna do that. And the Dick thing, that's just the most depressing thing ever. So whatever. But I won't stop you from saying anything. Repeat what you said at the beginning.
Actually, I wanted to ask you this. What about Alex Stein? Where are you sitting with him nowadays?
I hate him.
All right, good. We can talk about Alex Stein then. And did you see any of Milo on Tim Pool?
Yeah, and honestly, I love this MGM Grand jacket. Holy shit, that was pimp. I'm not gonna lie. God, that was pimp. I wish I had that jacket. I'm not gonna lie.
They took that down off of YouTube.
Yeah, I know, because they're pussies. But like the MGM jacket was like sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm from your same age bracket, and it was like, oh, MGM Grand jacket, like totally pimp. Like, yeah, that looked cool. Milo is a snake. Let's just be real. And so he happened to start my career. But I have no special loyalty toward Milo other than I won't attack him out of nowhere or like provoke him out of nowhere. Does that make sense? Yeah. And he's done a lot of great stuff for your show, and I think that the show we did all together, I think that was like a classic, honestly.
Oh yeah.
But like he's my, like, I hope I'm not saying something out of school, but he's Milo, right? And so he's Milo, right? Like
I like him.
I like him too. God damn it, that's the only reason I'm here. It's because of him. So I like him too, but also, there are friends of mine who say he only collaborates or tries to influence you when you're like totally fucked up and can't control yourself. And there's a little bit of truth to that, but you know what? That's my fault, not his.
Yeah, true.
And so like I can't blame him for that, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have a fucking career. And so I like him. I think he's funny. I think he blew Vito. If you know what the funniest thing was, give me your take on this.
Mm-hmm.
That the Dax tried to spin as Milo blew Vito out of the water, and I was like, okay, well, what the fuck did you watch? Like
you mean Vito blew Milo out of the water? Yeah, that was
excuse me. Yeah, the Vito.
Yeah, that's insane.
Milo.
Absolutely, his response to that shit was insane.
Couldn't believe it, because I mean, you could have said, hey, oh, it's a draw. They had a fiery combat or whatever, but Milo absolutely fucking
Vito rage quit. Milo made him rage. He left like in a little huff.
Man, I'm all blood school. If you rage quit, you lost.
You lose.
Like, I mean, that's it.
I mean, it's one thing if you just leave because like, all right, you've had enough. It's time. But he left specifically in a moment where Milo was dunking on him. So that's a rage quit. You lose.
Yeah, exactly. And
before that, Vito's like asking about like, oh, what's it like to eat poop and stuff as a gay guy? And meanwhile, Vito's a gay guy. Like, what do you mean? So you're saying you eat poop?
Well, dude, you know what? I'm going to go into something right here. I have never eaten shit in my life. And the whole thing is, oh, Ralph ate shit. Actually, I had a deviated septum, which I still have, by the way, from doing a lot of cocaine. And, excuse me. So I'm like doing this, I'm like sniffing, and I'm sticking my finger in face asshole. And so like this is like, if you know anything about pleasing a woman or like, I don't know, you don't have to respond, but like, if you have your finger in a woman's asshole when they come, it's unbelievable. Like you can feel their asshole tighten around your thumb while they come on your cock. And so, again, not trying to get too graphic, but it's true though. You know this. Yeah, if you know what you know this is true, right? Their asshole tightens completely, and they like completely like are at your mercy. Like you know, this is the truth. And so, I shouldn't say this. So Denis, for example, who's like a 9 out of 10, Mexican, you know, hottie. But I used to stick my thumb not fully in her asshole, but like kind of in her asshole, because when she would come, I could feel it because her asshole was squeeze around my thumb. And and it was like, okay, achievement. You know, it was like an Xbox achievement, Xbox achievement achieved, right? Like, and she couldn't help it, like, cause she, you know, she's a human, right? But like when I made her come, when I really knew I made her come, it was because I had my thumb in her asshole. And I could feel it squeezing around my finger and her just like going nuts. And so that's how I could feel that. And so, you know, with I won't even name the name, but like the tape that's out there, whatever. I stick. I shouldn't say this. I'm gonna say it anyway. Whatever. Like, it's not controversial to stick your thumb in your female's asshole. Like that's kind of a normal. Like, am I lying, Jesse? Like, I'm serious, and I swear to God,
you gotta put something up there. I mean,
like, I swear to God, and I know you're recording me. I don't even care, but like, I'm not recording you, but like, is it really that? It's not crazy. Like, it's like, okay, yeah,
it's erotic.
So,
it's an erotic feeling, you know. It's like,
well, because they want something up their ass.
They want something up their ass. I've been saying that for years, actually. They want something in there. And if you can get your other thumb in their mouth at the same time, that's like they want to be plugged up.
I'm taking it from the ass of not myself personally, but giving it. But regardless, so people are like, "Oh, Ralph ate shit." A person, you know, if you say that, you have no idea what sex even is, honestly, right? Like, and
you just make them wash out their butthole ahead of time.
Well, yeah, I've looked ass. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, that doesn't, like, am I supposed to be ashamed of that? Like,
have you gotten your asshole eaten though? Because
yes, many times. Killing by a well, I shouldn't say.
No, it's okay.
But you can imagine who big fan of Neon Genesis Evangelion. But regardless, yeah, I had a woman eat my ass out all the way. And look, like, these are kind of degenerate things. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but like, yes,
Well,
I have.
To have like the hairs around it licked. It's an erotic sort of. It's undescribable in a way. It's unlike anything else.
Well, so once or twice they weren't, shade or whatever, but like once it became like a thing, that's like, okay, I'm gonna shave around there, and like, okay, there's no hairs or whatever. I should never tell you this, but I don't care, whatever. Like, I'm the Springer nigger. I don't care, whatever. And so, I can tell you that multiple women have licked my asshole. That is actually true. But boy, you really threw me off, you fucker.
I didn't do anything.
But like, that's not crazy. That happens with everybody. Like, is that crazy?
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I
had a bitch go down and suck my cock, fucking shove it down her throat, and then could get the balls in and lick the hole at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, it's like, I mean, to somebody hearing it and they don't understand or they don't have sexual experience, like, yeah, it sounds like insane. But I've had close personal relations, lick my asshole, right? And that's maybe that's fucked. I don't know, but like that's happened, and so it is what it is. But so repeat where you want me to start here, and I want to finish it off, honestly.
What do you mean?
Like, so, like, what is the question?
I didn't ask a question. You just started telling me about eating butt. It's just what you started saying, man. I didn't really ask anything. You just wanted to...
You're right. You really didn't. But
I mean, I'm happy to find out about all the ladies that you've ever been with eating your butthole or whatever.
Like, oh, you may do that. Like, no, you lick my asshole on your own. You did this on your own. Like,
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I assume every bitch that comes across Ethan Ralph eats his fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
of course, it's like I won't say number one, but like number.
It's up there. It's number
maybe.
2.
Like,
hey, it's number 2. You know what I'm saying?
It's in the top 5 for sure. There. Yeah.
I mean, that's how you keep her. That's how she knows her place.
Nigga, yeah. You know what? Tell the truth. You ain't ever had your asshole licked. Just tell the truth.
I'll be honest with you. I have never, ever, even one time had my asshole licked. But
why?
I guess because I'm a poopy whoopy diaper head. I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like I would get anything out of it. But I've heard many guys say that there's something to it.
It's not about being, by the way, it's not about being fucked up your ass. It's about like a woman sticking her tongue up your ass.
Right. Like, or tongue fucking your ass.
Yeah. It's not like, I know some people, can't really maybe, understand it, but, and again, look, dude, I'll just say, I love it. It's just degenerate. Don't go that way. But
hey, listen, a lot of it is just, you're trying to get nasty. I get it.
But I'm just trying to be honest with you guys, right? Like I could sit here and lie.
Yeah.
And I could sit here and say, "Oh no, this never happened." And I have never named any specific individual, by the way. But I mean, it's titillating, right? And so
you like getting your nipples sucked?
I never really cared for getting my titties sucked because they kind of hang low because they lost so much weight anyway. So like, I never cared about that. I did like getting my asshole sucked though. Yeah, that's true.
They suck it?
No, I didn't suck it. They sucked.
Right, I'm saying they suck on the asshole.
They suck my asshole. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know they sucked it.
No. By the way, no specific names,
of course, whatsoever.
I want to be clear.
I mean, listen, I saw the video. I saw, I watched it like everybody else, and you're putting the thumb up there, whatever. But I didn't see her complaining.
Well, look,
she seemed to be enjoying herself.
I'm trying to lay off on that, but
hey, I'm not saying any name. Just to be clear, I'm not saying any names. What I am saying,
yeah, no, there was no complaints because I made it come like it was the goddamn end of the world, and so,
I don't remember the timeline. Is there any possibility that the moment that was filmed that everyone's seen was also the moment of conception?
No.
Okay.
No, that was later. I know, like, people have that, like, in their mind that was, when my son was born. My son, dude, you have not seen my son.
No.
And you won't. But like my son is like such a photogenic little guy. Like my son could be. And I would never want him to be, by the way, but like, he's like so photogenic and so like just amazing that like he could be a superstar child star. Like I'm not even just saying that. And he is the cutest. I won't say son of a bitch. That's wrong.
I can feel that's where that sentence was going.
But like it's a figure of speech, though. Do you understand, though? Of course. Jesse, right? Like it's a figure of speech. It's not me insulting my son. It's just me. Like he's my son could literally be like a Hollywood star. Like I'm not even saying that. I'm not just saying that for like props or our money or anything like that. Like he's literally that cute. He's literally that precocious, and I don't want that for him. What do you think about tomorrow night? And again, if you recorded this, I didn't say anything that I wouldn't send publicly. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
So it's fine. Like
as far as tomorrow, I think we got to mention a little bit of Dick Masters and stuff. We'll just get that out of the way at the beginning.
Yes,
because it's going to be the last thing in mind. I've got, you know what I want to bring up. I'm not going to say everything I want to say right now, but I want to bring up your message to everybody before you went to rehab.
Yeah, that was the best thing I've ever created in my life.
I definitely want to talk to you about that, and I want to talk to you about the I know you probably have said it if we're rehashing stuff, whatever, but I do want to learn a little bit about it, about the experience, and then maybe some Alex Stein or something. I kind of want to shit on Alex Stein. That motherfucker.
Fuck. Yeah. You talk about Dick Mason. I hate Alex Stein way worse. Like this guy fucking faggot.
Alex Stein sucks. He's so unfunny. And we can just play it by ear. Both of us know how to talk. It's not gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, you know what? That's the funny thing because people are like, "Oh, what's Jesse and Ralph?" Sorry, I mean, but what Jesse and Ralph don't talk about, well, a couple of old pros, and we're building some. I feel like this at least, but we're building some respect and some trust between each other, and you go from there. Alex Stein's a complete piece of shit. He should be put.
He should be put to death.
Pasture, I would say.
I would say put to death.
Well, I won't say that.
They should throw the chair at him.
He's just a piece of garbage. Like I just put out to pasture. I don't avow any death, by the way. I want to be clear. But like he's such a loser. Like he's not funny either. The worst offense, listen, you know this already. The worst offense is to not be funny. And he's not funny.
He's just not funny.
And you know what? You can hate somebody, you can, have beef with somebody, but like, if you're not funny, you're not funny. And that's the whole fucking thing right there. Like, and so he sucks. He should be purged from the conservative movement, whatever the fuck. I don't believe in the conservative movement. I don't know what you think, Jesse, but like I'm not a part of the conservative movement. I agree with some things here and there. But there's a lot of things I don't agree with, and I don't sit here and say, "Oh, I gotta be a MAGA tard and put my MAGA hat on." Like no, that's not me at all. I guess maybe I can make more money and be more of a shill, if I did that, but that's not me at all.
Yeah. So I'm totally apolitical, other than I think you should be allowed to kill women if you want.
Just about officially, but wink, I understand. You know what? I don't even know how much this will make, if we'll ever make it, but I had a lot of fun talking to you. And it's funny because, like, I'm not even trying to slam Dax, but like, he can't have these type of conversations. Like, he's so protected. He's so like ensconced, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Maddox put out that video finally all about everything, like years after the fact.
I watched it.
And Dick got it taken down off of YouTube, right?
Yes, he did. He struck it down.
And all because he's being called a pedophile in it. This is the real reason.
I don't actually think, first off, I'll say this. I don't actually think he's a pedophile, but it's funny that, man, you're really pushing me. I don't think he's a pedophile, but like, it's like, okay, you said everything and anything and everything about Maddox, and now all of a sudden, strike his video down. Like, okay, well, that makes you a faggot, right? I don't like saying that. Like, I like these people. Like, you know what I mean?
You shouldn't like them, man. They don't like it. You know what? This is one thing I do want to say on the show tomorrow. I'm going to repeat it. Okay.
By the way, and let's talk again if you have a chance before the show, but like I don't plan. Like I'm not scared about anything you'll say or anything like that. Like
anything.
But like, I just want to be good. Is the only thing. But anyway, go ahead.
No, all I want. This is what I want to bring. I hope I remember to say this tomorrow. Is you know what? This is a legitimate theory I have. Is he used you as a troll shield, same way he used Maddox, same way he uses Vito now, and I kind of think that part of why he's dumped you now is because you're not a big fat guy anymore. I think so too. Vito is a big fat guy. And so when you look at them next to each other, it's just easy to go like, oh, this is the one to make fun of because he's a big fat guy, right? And I think that that's what he got out of you before he had Vito, was that he was like, oh, okay, well, Ethan, I mean, one, you're like a controversial figure, obviously, but two, just you guys next to each other on a screen, it's like, all right, I guess I'll make fun of the big fat guy. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny is I ate M&M at 178 pounds. Vito will never see 178 pounds. I'll tell you that for a fact. But
probably maybe on a plate in front of him.
You know what? I don't even hate Vito. Like I always get along with Vito. It's funny, but like. It's just like this guy's playing. I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say this publicly, but like
we're too deep now.
It's like, okay, this guy's playing me, like whatever. I will say this. I hope Dax Herrera and Maria Valenzuela have a healthy child and it works out well.
That would require it to be Dax's kid. Obviously, that's not the case. It's some other guy.
Well, there's a whole theory that Vito and some.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
You saw it, right?
I did not see that. No, that's wild.
No, dude, I won't get into it, but like. What I'm saying is, I love these guys for so many years, and they did a lot of stuff for me. And but you know what?
They did you dirtier than they did you clean.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They stabbed me in the back at the time when it was really the most. If they stabbed me in the back when I was on top, like I would have fucking destroyed them, right? But like they stabbed me on the back at the moment that they thought they could kill me. And it's funny because listen, I've tried to kill myself unintentionally, not physically, but like career wise. It's funny, it didn't work. But Dick Masterson cannot kill me because I'm more entertaining than Dick Masterson. Period. And I'm definitely more entertaining than 80s Girl. And so, this might sound like pompous to people hearing this, and we're off the air right now. We'll talk about this on the air tomorrow, but like I'm better than these people. And so the idea that I should supplicate myself to them is ridiculous. And so I've told you some things. I didn't tell you everything because like some of these things are like so deadly and so like it has nothing to do with Dax, by the way. It's so like crazy. Like I just have to keep that close to the vest, but it's so wild because I love these people. Literally, I love these people. and they just couldn't keep it up, and that's okay. But you know, Jesse's I'm talking Jesse right now, obviously, but Jesse's a pretty formidable enemy. But so am I. And I have so much dirt on so many people that hasn't been released that and I'm not even talking about them, by the way. Like, it's like, dude, you will not believe what's gonna come out in 2025. Like, I'm telling you now. Like, you will not believe what's gonna come out. But I respect you because, like, I feel like you're like me in a lot of ways. You know, we have different comedy. You know, I'm from the South. You're Richmond, whatever. Yes,
the capital of the South, right?
Yeah, but like I'm from the deep South, right? Like, and so it's like, I respect your hustle. I respect, like, man, you never gave up. Like, you never, like, I don't think you thought this would happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in my opinion, you'd be lying to me if you thought this would happen. And no, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like, it's like, you know, this guy, like it totally changed things, and there is so much more to come that you have no idea. And I'm not even talking about Dax particular, by the way. You have no idea what is coming.
You got to at least hint who you're talking about. I mean, you're killing me here.
Well,
the Who.
Well, hi, man. I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, I literally can't tell you. And so, but like, I'm telling you this. This is going to be the biggest story in sector history. And okay, first up, let's just stop now. What are we gonna do tomorrow?
We're gonna talk a little bit about Dick. We're gonna talk about the rehab video. We're gonna talk about.
Sure. By the way, that was the best thing I've ever done. Period. But yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna talk maybe a little bit about Alex Stein. I don't know, and then we're just gonna fucking wing
fuck
it.
Alex Stein. He should be put to death.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. And then we're gonna fucking wing it, man. I don't know. I'll think of something.
You know what's so funny is like, me and you are like totally simpatico on like almost everything, and the only thing that ever kept us from being like, and we get along and we have great chemistry, but the only thing that kept us from like really nailing it was Dick Masterson.
Yep.
Like, that's it. Because I don't have anything personal against you. I don't give a fuck. Like, we you know, I mentioned Bibble earlier, but like, you know, it's not just Bibble, but it's like so it's talent can see where people are going, right? Yeah. And you don't have to tell them. You don't have to you know, push them into the area. They just know where you're going because they're good. Right. And so, you know, a lot of part of me feels bad about Dick, but you know what? It's a new era. And so,
You know what? So, it is a new era, and you got to free yourself from those chains.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally. And you said that to me, I think on Twitter earlier or DMs, and it was like, you know what, Ralph, you just gotta drop this, dude. Like, it's over. Like, it's over. It's not gonna happen. He's gonna totally blackball you regardless.
And by the way, if he didn't, that would be worse because he'd be using you. If he ever tried to turn it around with you, that's fucking look out. Look, better be looking over your shoulder. When's the next shoe gonna drop?
I will say I do feel I shouldn't, by the way, but I do feel bad about bringing, Marie into it.
Fuck that bitch.
But that's just the optics reason.
I get it. She's supposedly pregnant and all that. I get it. But but she's also a cam whore. So fuck her.
Well, she legitimately is a cam whore, and I've seen her. I've seen that.
And he lied and lied and lied about that.
Well, yeah, the other thing is just admit it. Like, okay, you showed your ass and your pussy and you made some money. Like, I don't actually have a problem with that.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing he didn't get. When I was on your show and I was like coming at him with all that shit, he kept trying to make it like, why do you care about me? I'm a different guy. And I'm like, I don't care. It's that you are right now. He's going around from podcast to podcast back then saying that iDubbbz is a cuck and a simp because iDubbbz' girlfriend is an OnlyFans whore. And it's like, I agree with that, but that's also then true of you. If you're. Of you,
yes, exactly. And it's like.
That was it.
Man, look, man, make money however you can make money. I hate to say that, like that sounds like really crass and whatever, but like, okay, if your hoe's gonna show her ass and her tits and her pussy and make money, and I don't actually personally, is it good for society? No, but like, do I really have a problem with that? No, I don't. But what I have a problem with is lying and stab me in the back. And dude, you don't understand. I don't know if you understand. Like, he shit on me. And I was about to kill myself, Jesse. Like, I'm not killing you. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Like, I was like, it's over. Like, I need to just leave. And then I saw my son. And I said, by God, could you imagine like killing yourself like when you're on a visit with your son? And he found that out 10, 15 years later. Like, well, what would he think of you? Right? I would much rather him think of the real Dick Masterson than me. And I was that bad, dude, and that's that's like a shame. Like, that's like fucking a disgrace to admit that, to be honest with you. But like, I was like, man, it's over. Like, whatever. I want to see my son one last time, and I'm gonna kill myself. Like, that was the plan. And he knew how bad I was. And he went on air with this fat fucking pedo veto and laughed it up. He has to pay. And I don't like feeling like that. Like, maybe it's not good.
It's true.
But it's like, he has to fucking pay. Now, Mersh, listen, I'm not going after Mersh. Like, whatever. You can make a joke here or whatever, but like, Dick Masterson, Dax Herrera has to pay. And he thinks he's above it all. He thinks he's in LA. He's a failed fucking actor. He also ran on a couple commercials and like fucking guest spots on extras on TV shows. This guy's not a fucking star. I'm more of a fucking star than he is. Like, and you are too. This is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on Dr. Phil with a complete fake gimmick that they already knew about. You know what? Fuck you. And I get more mad the more I think about it. But like, it's like, nah, I'm mad. And so anyway, okay, before we sign off, top 2 or 3 things we go through, and then of course I usually just run through interviews like without any plans, and we just go through organically because I feel like that's more I feel like that's more genuine. But like in this case, like I feel like no. But just give me your thoughts. It's 7 p.m. tomorrow, and so
yeah, again, dick stuff, and then I mean, listen, we got a big shared history. We could like kind of go over some of that too. We could rehash some old events. That'd be kind of funny as well. Like the pissing on my brother's grave moment. That was a funny one.
By the way, the brother that didn't die, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That was funny.
It actually was funny.
I had to make a lot of people who like me angry for that joke.
They were pissed at you. I saw that.
Very mad at me. I did a very bad thing.
You went full Andy Kaufman. Yeah, I gotta lie. I can't lie. Like, but let's do a little run through. Of course, we'll when I'm on the air tomorrow at 2 p.m., like I'm on the air, and so we can't like plan anything then, right? Like it's just it's live, right? And so
I will be fine. We don't even have to think about it, man. It's gonna be fine.
Dude, me and you, it's so funny because like we've had beef and this and that, but like me and you just seem to get it. We're copacetic like when we actually talk on the air.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's because I don't know, I think you're from Richmond. I'm from Memphis. It's like it's just copacetic, right? Like it just goes along. But what I'm saying is we can really nail this, and it's not even about like burying Dick Masterson. That shouldn't be what it's about. We should talk about Keanu. We talk about all this crazy shit, but like obviously this has to come up, and it's a shame because like I wish this wasn't the case, and I spent years saying this wasn't the case, and it actually is the case though.
Oh yeah.
I know I sound like Maddox, but like it's like it sounds so gay, but I love this guy. And
that's what he does. He gets you with his feminine wiles, He snake charmed you. This is why wrote a book called Men Are Better Than Women, because he wants to lure men in, and you're just one of his victims.
The thing is, I have a direct line with Mrs. Vickers, we'll say.
Right.
And she has no other. Dude, listen. We can totally destroy Matthew Vickers and all of his emissaries because I have a complete and and she knows because I could have released everything she said already, right? But I didn't because I know, I'm not a journalist. Like, I don't claim to be, but I also I uphold those type of standards. Like, it's like, okay, if somebody says, "Hey, don't release this" or "Don't do this," like I follow them, right? Because I want to build trust, and I want to be like that. I don't know. Some people just don't understand how it goes, but whatever. This is off the record, and if this ever comes out and recording, this is AI, and this has not happened.
Okay, yeah.
So Aaron Vickers has accused her husband of raping her.
Yeah.
And look,
marital rape.
Right. And well, they should not be illegal, but whatever. But like, look, I will still be my same self because I'm on her side completely and will never change. But I will say, prove it basically, because I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world if all of a sudden I said, okay, he raped her, and I just don't. I'm not comfortable with that. But the fact is, I've already had through emissaries file FOIA requests on all this stuff. And so I'm expecting to get this soon. Now, she requested me not to release it immediately. And, we're on the same team. And so I said, okay, that's fine. I said, you know what? I'll follow your every lead, except you have to agree to a complete firebomb on Matthew Figures eventually, right? You can't hold off. Like you can get me to listen. I have to be very careful though how it's rolled out. And you noticed, I know you saw some of this. He's suing his wife and all this. Well, yeah. I know all about it. But I don't know. I'm sorry to drag you on. I'm not trying to waste your time or anything.
No, man. I'm enjoying hearing you. I do have to take a piss though, so.
Yeah, I gotta take a piss too. That's the funny part. But yeah, let's both go take a piss and just call it a night. People don't understand that, like, it's funny because like I just like talking to you in general, like. God, it's sort of unreal because it's gonna come out soon. I'm gonna give you a tip. Alice sucked my dick 100%. That's true.
Is that why she's retarded now, or?
Maybe so. I don't know. The Ralphicom got her, but like I didn't make her do that. And if you go back and watch the first episode where she talks about it and she's like, "Oh, Rob didn't rape me. Rob didn't do anything, and we had our thing or whatever." And then watch the next week, and then all of a sudden it turns into I raped her. I would, first off, rape doesn't turn me on. Rape rape makes me sick. Like I like if a bitch doesn't want to suck my dick or jump on it, like it and
or
you
get
can believe it
the
or
thumb
not,
up
like
the
it
butt.
makes me ill. Like I don't want a part of that. Like it makes me like I don't know. Like you can't even hold your nose to fuck my cock. Like I don't want anything to do with you. So that's always been my position, but like I don't know. It turned into a thing. But if you watch the first week of her on the Casino and she says I didn't rape her, didn't do anything wrong, and then the second week she changes it because she can see she can make some money, and then the third week I don't even think she's saying anything about the third week because they cut her off because they don't want to give her any money. Like it's crazy, man. It's my fault, man. I shouldn't have fucked up. Whatever. Like, I can't. I wish I could sit here and just blame everybody else. You know what I mean? But
when she was sucking you off, did you put your thumb up her butt or?
No, she just sucked my dick. She has some really nice titties. I sucked her titties.
Did she eat your butthole or no?
No, she sucked my dick, but it's really slow and like.
Yeah.
I never had my dick sucked like that. Honestly, I mean, I'm being truthful. She sucked it so slow and so sensual that I'm not kidding, man. I know you're laughing, but like I'm not kidding at all. Like she sucked it so slow and so sensual. Like honestly, it was the best like dick sucking I ever got, but it was top 3 for sure. Like it was like.
There's probably a fat girl who did it better though. Some shit.
Yeah. But like it was like that. I was it raised your eyebrows, is all I'm saying. But like I didn't rape the fucking bitch. Like what the fuck, dude? I don't take any pleasure in raping anybody. Because like
you do it for the sport, not for the.
Well, no, it's not just for the sport. It's because like it doesn't turn me on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have to fucking raise somebody. I have to do this or that. Like that makes me sick. Like I you know what? Okay, I'll tell you. What actually turns me on more than anything, even more than me getting off, is me getting the woman off.
Yeah.
And me making them like, oh wow, he got me off. He really made me calm. Like, he really fucking did this. Like, I can come anytime I want. Like, I can just jack my dick. Like, whatever. It's no big deal, right? Like, what really gets me off is knowing, and I've had this said to me, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but like, what really gets me off is the woman saying, "You got me off. You made me come. You made me." Like that's what gets me off. And I know some people would call that cockery or whatever, but like I can come anytime I want. I can just fucking jack my dick off and come, right? Like Is this a surprise? Like I can do that anytime I want. What really actually feels like an achievement to me is making the woman come.
Right. And that's why you like to feel the butthole around the thumb, because then
yes. Well, you know what? You mentioned that. You know what? I'll give you forgiveness if you record this, but like, like, so, first off, I've never ate any shit like that's totally dumb. Like, whatever. I don't eat shit like that's totally stupid, but like, when you're fucking a bitch from the back, you know what I'm talking about. You already know what I'm talking about. Tell me you don't know. You know what? Deny you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're so full of shit.
You told me to deny it.
You're so full of shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what? Be honest.
What? You're fucking her from behind and then what? What are you saying?
Okay. So what I'm saying is, okay, you're fucking her from behind, and you're pounding the pussy,
right?
And you take the thumb, but you have to be a little gentle, obviously. But people who have made a woman come know what I'm talking about, by the way. But you stick the thumb slightly, not all the way, slightly into her asshole.
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah, no, but it's slight though. Like it's not like, oh, you stick your whole fucking thumb into her asshole. Like she wants that already. Like she wants you to do this, but like you do it. You do it slightly or whatever. I don't know, but and so if you ever made a woman come from the back, which I have many times, by the way, and you have your thumb in her ass. And it doesn't have to be all like, 15 inches in her ass. Like it could just be barely in her ass, right? It's something that they love. Like I don't know what to say.
It's hard to explain, but it's part of nature.
Yeah, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what, Jesse? Tell the truth.
Listen, a woman likes something, plugging her up.
Well, so when you stick the thumb in your ass, you can feel the thumb squeeze your ass when they're really coming. And you know what I'm saying is the truth. Like that's why you're laughing, because you know exactly.
I've honestly never put my thumb in a butt. I really haven't. But I have put my dick in a butt. A lady's butt, not a guy's butt. Just to be clear.
I fucked the bitch up the ass too. But it doesn't have to be up her ass, like, because like
if you're really doing it right, her butt will come.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
The female butt can come.
Please cut this. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Because like
this one's all right. This one's on the record.
Yeah, it's on the record. Okay. Because like
bingo.
It's women don't want to admit it, right? But like and people say, oh, Ralph ate her shit and did all this. No, I didn't. Never. I don't want to eat any shit.
But we're on the record saying a female butt can come.
Yes.
100%. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eye. I've smelled it with my own nose.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's true.
It's true.
I hate to. I almost say it to
I've seen a woman's butt
there.
squirt. That's what you're trying to say.
Okay, I'll pull back a little bit. But so say I'm fucking a hot, insanely hot, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 female, and you have your finger not necessarily totally up price, right?
Right.
But like she wants it.
You're getting familiar.
She wants that, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's the implication that it could be more if she's not careful.
Yes, that's exactly the truth.
Exactly. You're basically saying to her, we could play this one of two ways. You want just a little thumb, or do you want the whole shebang?
And I've had people say, hey, wait, hold up, pull back a little bit, and that's fine. I understand that, right? But I'm not telling you any lies at all.
Listen, and there's some women that have been in your life. We're not naming names, but there's some women who've been in your life who love it up the ass.
Yeah, they do, and
doesn't matter where it's from.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you put thumb in, and I don't know. I feel guilty about it a little bit because I know it turns on crazy.
It's almost a cheat code. It's like putting in a cheat code.
Yeah, it really is like that. And it's like, okay, well, but I love pussy. What can I say? Does that make me bad?
No,
I don't know.
No, it makes you a man.
Yeah, and I'm never eating any shit or anything like that. That doesn't intrigue
But
me.
if a little poop got on your lips, I mean, it's not like you'd give up on the night.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if it accidentally, some of the woman's fecal matter got somewhere near your mouth during the middle of the act, you wouldn't just give up on the entire night.
No, of course not.
You're a bigger man than that.
But what I'm saying is, there's this whole
What about when a lady queefs?
Oh God, that's the best thing ever.
You love a queef?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I can be ambivalent on a queef.
Well, it means you're hitting the pussy right.
Okay.
I mean, how do I say, that's just the truth.
It just reminds me of Nickelodeon Gak, where you could be with a little container.
Yeah, but man, you really threw me off.
All right, I gotta take a piss. I gotta go. We get it. You love butts, whatever. That's no big deal. I don't care that you love a butt. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
No, it's not about loving butts. It's I actually and I'll say this publicly.
All right.
I am more titillated by pleasing a woman than pleasing me. And so that sounds crazy and whatever, but like that's the truth. Like that's me.
All right, nigga. Well, I'm not trying to fuck you, so that's fine.
Right? Like, does that make sense though?
I get it. Hey, listen. You're talking to me. I'm a guy. I love pussy. You know what I mean? And I love a woman's pussy, and I love her titties. And when I'm having sex with a lady, I like it when she comes. That's me. Now, have I stuck a thumb up the butt? No, I haven't.
That's the whole thing. I can come at any time I want. Like
I want a lady squirting. I want it to be gross, basically. I want it to be a filthy mess everywhere.
That's what I want. And look, I can get off anytime I want, right? Like I can just jack off. I'm like, you know, it's over. Whatever. But like boy, you really got me. But like this sounds gay, honestly, but like I can get off anytime I want, right?
That does sound a little gay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I can jack off and get off anytime I want, but like I take pleasure and take pride in being able to please a woman, and so
would you fuck Ariana? If push came to shove, would you?
I not. Obviously, you know, I won't actually. So,
yes, sir.
No, I just no comment.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is like, you know, like goddamn, you can just jack your dick off and come at any time, right? And so. Boy, you're really trying to get me.
I'm not trying to. I gotta go pee.
You are a son of a bitch.
I'm trying to go take a piss.
You are a son of a bitch.
And you refuse to let me go pee pee. You want me to know about the butts.
I'm not big into anal sex because, like, first off, you like have to be like super hard. I mean, I've done it, but like, it's not worth it.
Some women though, they want it. That's what they prefer it. They prefer
doubt, it. You know, no doubt. I could tell you all about it. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, I'm just totally fucking dead of this. But you know, well, it is what it is.
Truly.
So, I'm sure people are actually listening to this now.
No, nobody's listening to this.
It's just me. It's just me and you.
It's just me and you. Although you did tell me a minute ago that I could record you saying that you fuck butts and you put your thumb up butts and you said that's on the record. So. But
well, I mean,
nobody's listening right now.
Listen, first off,
we'll talk about it on the show.
Don't make of this. I don't think putting your thumb up.
We don't have to go over the thumb up the butt anymore. We don't need to relitigate the thumb.
It's not like,
oh my God,
a bad thing.
We do not have to relitigate the thumb bum. All right, you're fine.
Okay, you know what? Let's do it tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow. All right, I gotta go take a piss. I gotta go.
I gotta go too. That's what I'm saying. So
right.
Tomorrow. Jesus Christ. But anything else? Yeah, I'm good. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
All right, I'll see you then.
7 p.m. God, I still have the hiccups.
I know what time. I'll see you then. I gotta piss. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. The call. Now, again, I only did that to show exactly, like, it made me sad because that was immediately following the rehab stint. I never would have played that if it weren't for that fact, but I know that he's still denying that there's some sort of issue. Also, I just wanted everyone to hear how much Ethan Ralph loves a butt. Now, during all of that, by the way, I was monitoring the situation over live on the Kill stream, and it looks like maybe he did talk about Podawful while it was live. This is crazy. While it was live, he, what do they call that when they you raid a chat? He raided the chat of Nightwave. I guess Nightwave just went live. Nightwave's stream is called Goon-tastic. It's like he knows. All right, so let's see. I just paused at a random spot here. I think maybe he might mention the stream.
That was never going to happen. So, 500 says, you seem to be doing good, man. Don't let a little setback bother you. That's part of the game. Well, the call he recorded was
live
over
from
a month ago.
A little bit ago.
So, and again, I haven't heard the call. It's not what it seems.
Was that really so bad?
No, because I remember the call.
There's no way you remember that call. There's no way.
But I'll also say that I don't see how that really harms me, honestly.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes. And of course, you heard I had full permission. So 100%.
What would harm me? You know what would have harmed me? Going on there and debating with a faggot like him, a failed comedian.
Whoa! What? Failed comedian? Just to be clear, Podawful did have twice the number of viewers as a kill stream for the entirety of the show.
Comedian like him who, you know.
This is not, I mean, listen, it's not a pissing game, but if you want to talk about failed, you can't say that, Ethan. I'm trying to help you, man.
Got fucked up the ass by Dick Masterson.
I'm not Mersh, and I'm definitely not you. Listen, you can't, we heard the call. You're still in love with Dick Masterson. He charmed you. He hypnotized you. He, what is that thing that the Twilight werewolves do or something? He imprinted on you.
And
he glamorized you.
You know, has been on a jihad against him and Mersh and other people for years and years and years.
Oh, man. You haven't seen the episode, Ethan. This is retarded.
Because he really has nothing else. I can say.
What else would I need, by the way? There's like entire channels that all they do is Ethan Ralph.
They're going to talk about anything, including drug abuse.
How about you talk about the one thing that you actually want people to talk about with you, the butt stuff.
And this is a guy whose whole career is based off getting fucked up the ass by...
Okay. Let me be clear. After that phone call, I think if one of us had an entire career based off of things in the ass...
Dick Masterson. And I know Dick and I are not cool. That's true. But, like, that's his whole career.
You know what? He's talking out of turn. I'm not going to I'm talking back. I'm talking smack. He has a sobriety issue. And so I am going to forgive everything he says here. I'm going to be the greatest guy, the magnanimous one, and I'm going to allow this one to go. Wait, hang on a second, though. We should just real quick. I mean, since he did raid Mersh's chat room, speaking of Mersh, Goon-tastic. Mersh brazenly called this episode Goontastic. Let's see what this is about.
I just want to let the regular weeknight viewers know that we absolutely
so quiet
helped out our girl Harley.
Oh God, it's just a cat diary, folks. This is what they're reduced to. It's just a cat diary. Ethan, the guy you want in your corner is not the cat diarist, okay? Anyway, thank you all for joining me for this one. I hope that we can do something to save Ethan. There's many kind messages in chat. The entire chat was filled with people saying, we love Ralph. We love Ralph. Everybody seems to be on your side, Ethan. I hope you'll understand this was tough love. And by the way, I don't monetize this stream whatsoever. No ads, none of that. Join the Pizza Fund, Podawful.pizza. I'm not going to do an after show on this one or anything. Just support the show, Podawful.pizza. Till next time, have an awful day. Bye. Happy to have been here, by the way.
I'm an excellent goon. Actually, my penis is quite sizable. Pantso! Can I get a latte?